Hi guys, and welcome to my Why can't I do this? Here we go. Hi guys, and welcome to Oops, I'm Talking Again. I'm your host Ham, and this is a podcast where I don't shut up. I've decided to start a podcast, and I've been wanting to do one for a while. I'm trying to read a script right now, but that's just not me. I hate scripts, and I hate reading off of things. So you know what? We're just gonna completely wing this. Also, I am sorry, my baby is in the background, and you're gonna hear him. I tried to put him down for a nap so that I could record this. Okay. I'm going to try again soon. Oh my. He likes to talk just as much as me. He just talks all day long. My mom says he's exactly like I am, but I was born talking. I haven't shut up since. I have a problem. So here we are. Podcast is going to be perfect for me. Callan's at the stage now where he's like learning to crawl and pull himself up to things, and he has not slowed down. And I feel like that is interfering with his napping. I've heard when they're learning new milestones, they don't nap because it's all they think about. And that's him. It's like he only has to sleep at night. And during the day, he is up and hyper the whole entire day. He's only 7 months old. He should be napping every few hours. Like, what in the world? Okay, I'm gonna attempt to get him down for a nap again because he's so noisy. But anyway, you guys, this is my first like official podcast. I recorded a small trailer yesterday that was like 8 minutes long. But this one's probably gonna be a lot longer because, again, I talk a lot. And just so you guys know, I don't have anything planned for this episode. And this one is just like a who I am and where I came from, where I grew up, just a little bit about me, because I feel like if you guys follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, any of those platforms, you guys kind of know who I am, but not truly. Like, you guys know me for like my daycare and cooking videos, and that's a little bit of who I am, but that's just not who I am. If you guys listened to my little trailer yesterday, you guys know that I put in there that I'm going to tell you guys a secret today. Stay tuned till the end of this podcast and I will tell you. Okay, before we start, I need to go get some water because my throat is dry and it's going to be hurting by the end of this for the amount I'm about to talk. All right, we got some water, you guys. All right. Let's do this. Let me just warn you guys. I can ramble and ramble and ramble and talk, and my mind doesn't stay in one track. So I start talking about one thing and then I get distracted and I start talking about another thing. So I want to apologize in advance. Yesterday I looked back on my Spotify comments to see if anybody was even watching, and somebody commented a little advice on to slow down with talking. So I'm trying to be mindful of talking a little bit slower. But if you like listening to people that talk slower, this podcast probably isn't for you, because I talk so dang fast. And I have been told my whole entire life that I talk too fast. I don't know what it is. I can't slow down. I should have probably been an auctioneer rather than a daycare provider, because, yeah, right now I am talking very slow for myself. And it's really hard for me to do. I feel like I'm trying to pause between each word. It's just not flowing correctly. Like, I could talk like this. I really need. Yeah, I have a problem. Also, I want to preface that I am recording right now on my iPhone. I eventually plan on getting like a studio in my house for podcasts specifically, like with nice microphones and a setup and like noise canceling stuff. I did a lot of research yesterday, watching YouTube videos on what I need to start a podcast, and there's a lot that goes into it, I'm realizing. But right now I don't have that stuff, the equipment, so I'm sorry if this sounds like crappy and not good. But we're going to make it work, and it's going to be fun, no matter if I'm using my iPhone or have a fancy studio. But yeah, gosh, I definitely should have like written down in my notes what to talk about. But we're just going to start, okay? We're just going to start, and we're going to see where it takes us. So, a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in the same hometown in Minnesota. I left my senior year of high school, or right after I graduated, and I moved to Duluth, Minnesota for a year of college. See, I'm already messing up. Why did I skip from I was born straight to going into college? Gosh, This is harder than I expected, you guys. I feel like I need to have somebody sitting here with me and have a conversation with them and not just talk by myself. I need to pretend that I'm talking to an audience and not just staring out the window at my neighbor's house right now. But all right, let's backtrack a little bit about myself. Born and raised in, I can't even call it a small hometown or a small town because it's definitely not small anymore. I feel like it's getting more and more populated every single year. I think there's like, the sign says there's 17,000 or something like that, but there's probably well over 30,000 people in my town. And I like it, but I definitely don't ever want to live somewhere with a bigger population. Like, we sit at the stoplight for probably 3 minutes sometimes, and that's too long for me. I don't know how people do the big city living and sit at a stoplight for 10, 15 minutes. I would go absolutely nuts. There's like no traffic here, but the traffic that we do have is just too much for me. But I was raised in a daycare myself. For the people that are here know that I'm a daycare provider. A lot of people ask me how I do it and how do you manage the kids? How do you have the patience for it? I think a lot of it has to do with being raised in a daycare. I saw how my mom did it and managed it, and I was around children all the time. And I wasn't somebody that like, I lived in a daycare and I like ignored the daycare kids and like did my own thing. No, I was like fully invested in the daycare myself, and I thoroughly enjoyed living in a daycare. I loved my mom's daycare kids. Since I was old enough to help out, I helped her. Like, I would help with diaper changes, making the bottles, helping her with lunch, helping with preschool stuff, going outside with them, helping take care of them. And I loved it. Like, my dream job always, whenever I was growing up, was to be a daycare provider. I thought it would be so fun. But then whenever I opened my own daycare, reality kind of slapped me in the face because I wasn't just the little helper that got to help every now and then go in my bedroom and watch TV or help make one bottle and then I got to go play outside myself. No, it was all on me, and it was way harder. Even though I grew up in a daycare, it was still so hard. My first year of being a daycare provider was so damn hard. Like, it was not enjoyable. I actually thoroughly, hate is a strong word, but I thoroughly did not enjoy my job. And I was looking for a new job about 6 months into opening my daycare. Because being a daycare provider or just working with children is not for the weak. I figured it out, got a good schedule down, but gosh, guys, why am I already jumping to being a daycare provider? Trying to think of what I could talk about with my childhood. I have a very close knitted family. Like, I'm very close to my aunts and uncles and my cousins. I grew up pretty much like siblings with my cousins. I have, on my mom's side of the family, I have two older girl cousins, and then I have three younger boy cousins. And then there's me. There's only 7 of us total. I also have one older brother, and we were all very close growing up. We did everything together. We, to this day, do like absolutely everything together. We go shopping together on the weekends. Sometimes we grab lunch and we try and get together as much as possible. But now that we're all kind of growing up and have our own husbands, wives, fiancés, girlfriends, and have our own children, we definitely don't get together as much as we used to, but we still make time for each other. But I am absolutely so blessed with the family that I have. They mean everything to me. We have so much fun together, and I couldn't imagine my life without my family. They're the funnest people. They're so kind. We have a good time, and I wish all of you could meet them. I eventually, if this podcast like actually takes off, I want to have like each of my family members on my podcast and like interview them and like talk with them, and then you guys can all meet each and every single one of them. But I truly think that John and I would have moved out of our hometown if it wasn't for having all of my family members here. You guys, I mean, almost every single one of my family members is still here, up to great grandparents, grandparents, all of their children. I have a couple of like great aunts and uncles out of state, but almost every other person or out of town. But all of like my immediate family is in town. Ugh, why is my dog barking? Rue. She barks at everything. There could be a butterfly and she barks at it. I'm gonna go nuts. She drives me crazy, you guys. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Another thing that I think is super cool from my childhood is I am almost friends with every single one of my friends from my childhood still. I stayed pretty close to, I'd say 90% of my childhood best friends. I still keep in touch with almost all of them. I'm very thankful for that. We never had like a lot of drama with any of my friends. I'm very, very thankful for my friends. They're awesome, and you most likely will meet every single one of them on here eventually because I want you guys to meet just everybody that I know. In my hometown, we go to elementary school from kindergarten to fifth grade, and then after fifth grade, you switch over to middle school, which is sixth grade to eighth grade. I know it's different in like every state, but then after that, it is you're a freshman when you're in ninth grade to senior year. So you switch schools 3 different times. I know now in my hometown, there's like a kindergarten through third grade, then like fourth grade and fifth grade school, and middle school and high school, which is so crazy to me. Like, that's a lot of change for children. And I'm very thankful that we didn't have that much change growing up. Um, but I feel like you guys really want to know kind of how I met John and how we became a couple. We've been together for almost 10 years now, and we are 25 years old. So we met when we were very young. We were probably 12 or 13 when we met, but we didn't start dating until we were 15. I will be right back. Callan is crying. All right, I'm back. I would wait until John gets home. He's been gone for 3 days now to record this, but whenever he gets home, I just want to hang out with him and Callan and not think about my phone for a second. So I'm trying to get it done right now. And it's definitely hard with a baby. I have taken probably 5 breaks now to soothe you. I just put him in a little bouncer and sat him next to me because he just wants to see me. He's about to fall asleep, but if he hears me talking or if there's anything going on, he has to be a part of it. Like, he has such bad FOMO. It's absolutely ridiculous. I took like a 5-minute break and I completely forgot what I was talking about. So I need to sit here and brainstorm for a minute so that I can go back to what I was talking about. Oh, how John and I met. So we didn't know each other in elementary school at all or middle school, really. I mean, 6th and 7th grade, I like kind of knew who he was because one of the people that I knew was dating him, so I knew like his name and stuff, but I would have never like saw him and been like, "Oh, you're John." Like, I don't know. But 8th grade, we got into the same art class and we were sat at the same table. I think like some of my mutual friends were friends with him. So I sat at the same table with my friend, and then like my friend was friends with him and whatever. Um, and I think it's funny now, like that we have been together for a while. I always ask him back then, I'm like, did you like me then? Or did you like recognize me and stuff? And he's like, yes, like I liked you, but like we were both always like kind of scared to tell each other that. But I feel like it took me a long time to ever develop like crushes or to like boys, which is funny because like all of my friends, I wouldn't say they were boy crazy, but they had crushes and they liked guys and stuff, and I always just viewed them as like a friend, and they didn't. So I just wanted to be friends with guys and girls. I did not care about a relationship. I didn't ever, I don't know, develop crushes really. But I did get a boyfriend in 8th grade, but I didn't like actually truly like him. I don't know. I feel like you just like you date. Like, it's middle school boyfriends and girlfriends just should not count because it's like you say, I like you. Do you want to be my boyfriend? Or do you want to be my girlfriend? And it's like, yeah, sure. But you don't really truly mean it. I don't know. So I became a girlfriend to somebody. And I remember my mom getting irritated with me because I would still like Snapchat and like FaceTime John all the time. But I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was wrong because I just looked at him as a friend. And I don't know, but she was like, you're dating, let's say Fred. You're dating Fred. You should be talking to Fred right now. And I'm like, why does it matter? Like, why does it matter if I'm talking to John too and Fred? Like, now that I think back, I'm like, gosh, what a hoe. Like, that's horrible. Anyway, I definitely didn't develop a crush. Maybe I did because know what? I look back at my old Instagram and when people used to post like Woman Crush Wednesdays and stuff, I took a picture of John and I posted him as like my Woman Crush Wednesday while I was dating Fred. And my mom was very irritated with me and made me change my caption and said that was rude. And I was like, why? I don't understand. And I think that I did kind of like develop a crush, but I never admitted it with John. And then the years passed and we just were like best friends. Like, we were super close. I talked to other guys, he talked to other girls, and I was just like, yeah, John, get it, guy, like, get it. Like, I was proud of him to talk to other girls because he was my best guy friend. And it got to a point like freshman year came around and I was talking to another guy. He had like not a girlfriend, but a little thing with somebody. And I was just so proud of him. And then 10th grade rolled around and he was still just my best guy friend. Like I loved him as a friend and nothing more. I never like really thought of him as like a crush. But I guess the whole entire time, he literally thought that we were like a thing. If you guys know, like you didn't call it boyfriend, girlfriend. It was a thing. You guys were just a thing. You liked each other. It was mutual. You knew that you liked each other, but you just never fully committed to the boyfriend, girlfriend thing. And I was clearly blind to it. And I ended up going to a bonfire with one of my friends, to a bonfire to people that I had never met before. And I ended up falling in love. I didn't fall in love, but I saw this boy and I was like, gosh, he is so cute. And so I started talking to him and he asked me to be his girlfriend like very quickly. And this is in 10th grade. And it was around September. And I just remember whenever he asked me to be his girlfriend, I just wasn't ready for it. But it was like in person and I was so scared to say no. Like, I'm just so awkward. I didn't want to be like, no, I don't want to be your girlfriend. So I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, let's try this out. I'll be your girlfriend. But we didn't really ever like get to know each other fully before we became boyfriend, girlfriend. And at this time, you guys, John literally thought that we were like dating. Isn't that horrible? Like now I feel so bad about it, but I just thought of him as my best friend. So I was just like pretty much in an open relationship. He just thought I was a cheater. But like John and I, maybe he thought we were flirting, but I was not. I was not flirting with the guy. I was just good friends with him. Okay. I'm like, just because I'm a girl doesn't mean that we're a thing. Come on. But then we call it formal. I know a lot of people call it like, goodness, are you trying to poop? Sorry, guys. I don't have a babysitter right now. But formal is in December. I think other people call it like homecoming or something, but this is whenever you get very dressed up in fancy dresses. Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to shut the curtains in here, maybe make it a little darker. I'm recording this right now in Callan's bedroom because I don't know where else to record it. But anyway, this is a core memory of mine. I remember Snapchatting John. We communicated through Snapchat. We still do actually to this day. And some people are like, that's so immature. But I'm like, I never was somebody to use text messages. I always used Snapchat. Still do. I literally contact all of my family members through Snapchat too. And people think that's so weird. But anyway, I Snapchatted John in 10th grade and we were talking about like formal or something. And I think a couple months before it was like, if we don't have dates, let's go together. And I got a date a couple months. Oh my. Maybe I should have waited to record this till your daddy was home. Yeah. Do you want me to hold you? The only reason I don't want to hold him is because he breathes super heavily. So you guys are just going to hear a little Darth Vader Jr. in the background the whole time I'm recording. But maybe he'll be quiet. Let's see. I should honestly contact my mom to come and watch him or bring him over to my mom's while I do this. But I am still learning how to use this like recording app. And if I press pause right now, it completely stops the recording. And I don't know how to merge two recordings together. I'm still learning. And I just don't want to pause it right now because I don't want to lose this whole entire podcast when I've already been talking for 26 minutes and 52 seconds. Like, absolutely not. So we're just going to have to run with it. But anyway, John and I in 10th grade, we decided that we were going to go together if we didn't have a date by the time formal rolled around. And he just assumed like we were together and we were going. And I Snapchatted him one day that, hey, I got a date. I'm going with, what should we name him? I'm going with Jack. I'm going with Jack to formal. And John's like, what? I thought that we were going together. And I guess, and he was like, oh, okay. Like, he was super nice about it. And I'm like, well, we're dating. Like, I have a boyfriend. Me and Jack are official. We're exclusive, okay? I'm going with this guy that I'm dating, not you that I am just friends with, weirdo. And he was super nice about it, but like a day later, I get a message from one of his friends, and his friend was so mean. He paragraphed me and was like, I can't believe that you did this to my best friend. Like, you are such a piece of shit, and like was so mean. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? I didn't realize that. I don't know. So then I feel like him messaging me that kind of put it into like perspective that, oh my gosh, I think John actually might have liked me. And I didn't realize, and I was just so blindsided this whole entire time. And I felt so horrible. And then let's just say me dating Jack, it just went it went out the window. I started to I met him and just became boyfriend, girlfriend right away. I didn't really know him, but then I went on a couple of dates with him, just one actually. And I instantly was like, I cannot be with this guy. We are just not meant for each other. He's such a nice guy. He's a good person, but we just were not compatible. His personality just did not go with mine. Totally, totally, totally different. It was a horrible first date, you guys. I will have to make another podcast about that because it's the cringiest, most uncomfortable thing. But anyway, it just sucked because I had my dress. He had his tux. We were kind of we had to go to formal together at this point. Which now looking back, I wish that I just said sorry, I can't go with you. But I felt too bad because the tuxes are $200 to rent. So I'm like, I can't just ditch him 2 weeks before formal. But I'm like, oh, I should have went with John. But then he ended up going with a girl that was a senior. She was a lot older than him, and they went together, and he liked her, and I was kind of John, you need to make a move on her. You need to I was so proud of him. I just felt so bad that I ditched him and he thought that we were a thing. And then he had to go with her, but he ended up telling me he liked her. But I guess this whole entire time he had the biggest crush on me and had liked me since 8th grade. And oh, you guys, it's just so sad looking back, but now it's a funny story to tell. So long story short, I ended up having the worst time ever at formal, and so bad. I was so crabby the whole entire time because I just could not get myself to enjoy it and have a good time because I didn't like the person that I went with. And oh, guys, oh my gosh, that night we went to the after party for formal, and I locked myself in my friend's bedroom because my date, he wanted to give me a kiss, and I did not want to kiss this guy. Whenever you don't like somebody, you just don't want to kiss them. And I ended up setting an alarm for 9 p.m. I'm like, okay, I'm going to lay down and relax for a little bit, set an alarm. I accidentally set the alarm for 9 in the morning, and I didn't wake up, and I guess he was sitting outside the door, knocking, waiting for me to come out and give him a kiss, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't. And the next morning, I sat down with my girlfriends, and I'm like, hey, can you guys please help me break up with Jack? I need you guys to help me break up with him right now. And they were like, yes, of course. They helped me write out a paragraph. Yes, I know I'm a horrible person for breaking up with him in person or over text and not in person, but I just did not have the balls to break up with him in person. That is so scary. Even if I wanted to divorce John right now, I'd probably do it over text. I'm kidding. I'll never divorce him. But anyway, I text him. My friend came up with a message and it was I'm just not ready for a relationship right now. I'm just not ready to be exclusive with anyone. I need to focus on school and all this, which was absolute bullshit because I did not need to focus on school. We're in high school. So I break up with him, and I guess he was absolutely devastated, and I felt horrible, but I'm we literally hung out twice ever in 2 months. I hardly even know you still. And he was heartbroken. And he texted one of my best friends 2 days later and was Anna, can you just promise me one thing? That she does not go for, I got to come up with another fake name, does not go for Samuel and does not go for John. And because this Samuel guy, I also had a little bit of a thing with for a month before I started talking to Jack. And I really liked him. And I don't know, he was a really great guy. He still is a great guy. I don't know why he didn't want me to be with him. It's not like he's a horrible... Oh, Callan's outlet sock is dying. Your battery is low, buddy. But anyway, I thought that it was super funny that he texted my friend to not go for these people. So I broke up with Jack on, I think, December 9th. Let me just tell you guys, John and I's anniversary is December 27th. Right after formal. It was super awkward, but the new semester started, or the new something started. I don't remember what it's called in high school. New quarter. It's called a quarter. And we got into the same gym class, and I remember it was so dang awkward because I hadn't talked to him in a couple of months because I was just I don't know. I just felt bad. After I found out that he liked me, it was just awkward after that. And I'd see him in the hallway and I'd ignore him. And then we got into the same gym class and I was like, oh no, shit. John is in my class. This is so awkward. And I didn't have any other friends in my class. And then so was Samuel. Okay. So both of my somewhat exes, which John was never my ex and neither was Samuel really. Okay, I need to go plug his outlet socket in. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You guys, I'm so sorry if this first podcast is so annoying. Like, I feel like there's so many noises going on and it's all over the place. But that's who I am, so I'm sorry. All right, I'm back. I have no idea why I didn't bring Callan to my mom's. I still should just call her to come and grab him because he is overwhelming me. I probably should have waited to record this, you guys. But anyway. So I am in the same gym class with both John and Samuel. And I just remember I was always partners like badminton and tennis and all of that stuff with Samuel because I was still friends with him. We were still okay. Like we didn't end things on bad terms. But John and I always had our eyes on each other. Like I instantly feel like I fell in love with him in gym class. The chemistry was so strong. Like but we were both too scared to admit it. And I told my best friend, I'm like, I don't know why, but I think that I actually really, really like John, and I didn't realize this before. I think me realizing that he liked me made me like him, and like, whatever. But I walk into the gym class, and the freaking gym class teacher put us in line in alphabetical order. Okay, my last name started with a S. His last name started with an S. So, of course, we get next to each other, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Of course, I get put right next to John. But let me tell you, if we didn't have the same last name or the letters didn't have the same last letter, whatever, we might not be together today because that forced us to be uncomfortable with each other. And okay, I'm calling my mom to come grab Callan. Hi, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Can you walk over and grab Callan for like 20 minutes? Or I can walk him over there too. I am recording my first podcast and he's being very loud and noisy and will not stop talking. And I tried to put him down for a nap, but if I'm talking, he won't nap.
No. Yeah.
But I'll be done soon. Okay, I'll come and grab him whenever you're done. Or whenever I'm done. Okay, thank you. You guys, this podcast is 40 minutes long right now, but I've probably only gotten like 20 minutes of talking in because I keep getting distracted. Motherhood. But yeah, which who knows? John and I might have found each other outside of gym class, but I don't know. Like, I feel like we would have been done completely talking if it wasn't for that gym class because that made us get out of our like comfort zones and whatever. But a couple of weeks into gym class, we ended up getting together and like hanging out with our friends, like kind of on a double date. And then the rest is history. And now we're married with a baby because we went on this date and we could not, I shouldn't say couldn't keep our hands off each other after that. That's kind of inappropriate. But we were in love. We just had the best time ever. I wish that we could go back and just like experience that like honeymoon phase, like first time together again because it feels so like it doesn't feel that long ago either. And that was almost 10 years ago. I am almost at my 10. I think I am. Have I been graduated from high school for 10 years? No. Like 7 years or 8 years. I graduated in 2018. My mom came and picked Callan up, so we're good now. We're good. Now we can sit and talk without any distractions. I need to think about what I should talk about next. Let's go back to my childhood. I was never like really into sports or anything like at a super young age. I think I started tennis and like hockey early elementary, but I never like super stuck with it. I mean, I was in tennis, I think elementary, middle school, and high school, but I was just never a super competitive person. So I was in it more for the fun and like social aspect. I've always been a very outgoing social person. I was never shy. I always made friends very easily. I like you guys know, I can just talk and I can talk to absolutely anybody. I'm good at small talk. I'm good at any kind of talking. My mom always tells me whenever I started kindergarten, I didn't have a lot of friends. I only had guy friends or boyfriends because the girls that were in my class, there was one girl that was in my class and she was not nice at all. She was super mean, and every time I always tried to hang out with her. I'd be like, "Hey, can I play with you or can I sit with you?" And she'd be like, "No. I don't want to." And the teacher would tell my mom, like, I feel so bad for Hannah because this girl just doesn't want to talk to her. But I didn't care. Like, I was never offended. I was never sensitive. I was a very, like, strong-minded child. I never got offended. I never was sassy. I never was moody. Like, I wasn't your typical girl of whiny and all that stuff. My mom said I was very relaxed. I was kind of like a boy myself. I don't know if it's because I grew up with a brother or what, or the way I was parented or just how I am. But I was friends with these two guys and I had the funnest time with them. There were no drama. And the other girl that did not want to play with me was drama, very drama, and just a very sassy, whiny person. And honestly, I'm like, I didn't even want to deal with that as a kid. I wanted to hang out with the guys that just like to play rough and go outside on the playground. And I don't know, they just were awesome. I liked being friends with them. I'm actually really good friends with one of the guys still to this day. But yeah, I was never like into sports and stuff early on. I was actually super good at hockey, but then I took a break from hockey and thought that I wanted to join basketball because at recess one day in 5th grade, I played basketball and I would get like super rough and I'm like, gosh, this is fun. I think I'd be really good at basketball, but I didn't realize there were like rules with basketball and you can't travel and you can't double dribble. I don't know the rules anymore, but I started basketball and I was so bad. I was benched the whole entire season and I got chubby because I went from being in hockey where I was super conditioned and always playing and whatever. And then 5th grade came around and I got benched the whole entire season because I did not understand the actual game of basketball and you couldn't just do whatever you wanted and ram into people and whatever. And also in 5th grade, I discovered that I had free will to just help myself to my parents' kitchen anytime I wanted. So I would eat, you guys, I am not exaggerating. I would eat like 16 pieces of bread every single day, which is a whole loaf. I would just go up and pop 4 pieces of bread into the toaster, butter them up, pop 4 more and butter them up, pop, like just repeat. And I would just shove them in my mouth. And I think this is like pre-puberty. So you're growing super rapidly. Like I felt like I was just like growing and eating and eating. Another thing that I think is so crazy. My parents did not know I did this, but they would buy those Eggo waffles and I would make like 4 waffles and I would fill each and every single square with sugar and then slather it up with syrup and then I would top it with powdered sugar. Whenever I was a kid, you just don't understand like calories and like nutrition and that kind of stuff. But it caught up to me quickly. I remember I all of a sudden like had a big belly and I it was just that awkward age, you know? Um I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, you guys. I'm so distracted and don't know what to talk about. But we're just going to go with it. And then 6th grade rolled around and I I started hockey again. Was absolute ass at it. Like I was so bad at hockey, you guys, because I feel like if I stuck with it from 3rd grade to 6th grade, I would have been very good. Like I would have known how to play, but I didn't. And I was pretty much benched the whole season again. So I just quit. I wasn't somebody that was like, I'm going to try again. Like, I didn't do good this year. Like, let's try again for the next year and maybe I'll get better. No, I gave up very easily. I quit like every sport. I think I tried every sport. I was in volleyball, tennis, track. I was in track for a while. I was in track from 6th grade to sophomore year of high school, but I hated when people watched me. So I quit whenever I started dating Jack because I'm like, he was also in track. And I just did not want to be in track because, yeah, the attention, and I was a hurdler, did not like when people watched me. So I just quit. Yeah, horrible. Don't be a quitter like me, you guys. But yeah, I just wasn't competitive. I remember one time when I was in track and I was running a 300-meter dash and there was a girl behind me and I was like, she seems like she wants it more than me. So I slowed down and let her pass me because I'm like, I just don't care if I win right now. And this girl is like trying so hard. So I'm going to like slow down a little bit, let her get 3rd place, whatever. Like, that's just weird. Like, why am I like that? I was always kind. I never wanted other people to be upset. I'm still somebody to this day, if their team loses, I feel bad for them. Like if the Vikings are playing, I feel bad for the other team whenever they lose. I don't know why. I don't know why, okay? I just want everybody to be happy. I'm trying to think of other sports I tried. Yeah, basketball, volleyball. I was in dance for a lot of years. I really liked dance, but then I got to an age where I was so scared to perform and my anxiety was so bad. I just hated it. One dance competition, actually, I think this ruined it for me forever. Gave me a little bit of PTSD. I was dancing and I was the one, she's like, Hannah, since you talk all the time and you're loud, you should be the person that shouts the 5, 6, 7, 8, and then clean, go down into your dancing, whatever. And whenever you're nervous and you're talking a lot, your throat completely dries up. Yeah, we're out there and I go to yell the 5, 6, 7, 8, but my voice cracked. And you guys, the bleachers were packed. There was like 1,000, 5,000 people there. Okay. Well, it felt like it. Probably not. And I did 5, 6, 7, 8. And it literally was so bad and so humiliating that the girl that I was like next to dancing with, it distracted her and she missed the whole entire beginning of the dance because she was laughing so hard. And the whole entire time I was dancing, that's all I could think about. And we get off of the stage and into the hallway, and my coach was laughing and goes, Hannah, you sounded like a 12-year-old boy going through puberty. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And that's all I could think about for months on end. I'm not even kidding you. And my parents, they like video recorded every single one of my dance like recitals or competitions. And I found out that they recorded this one. I went into their closet and I re-recorded over it, like the old videotapers. I recorded over that spot so that, but now I'm mad that I did that. I remember when my mom found out that I deleted it or recorded over it, she was so mad. She's like, one day you're gonna wish that you didn't do that. And I was like, no. I was just so upset about it. And now I do wish that I could go back and listen to it. But that, I think, just ruined my whole entire dancing career because I was just so embarrassed. That was, yeah, not fun, not fun. Oh, another thing that I was absolutely obsessed with growing up was baby dolls. Like, too obsessed, you guys. I would bring them to to town every single time, and I played with them up until literally 6th grade. That is so old, but I loved them. Loved them. I had like 6 to like 20 baby dolls, but I had 6 that I really, really liked. And I got like nice, like actual car seats that like would buckle into the car, and I would bring them into the store with me. I had another friend that played with me also. We had the best childhood. We had sleepovers all the time, and we would always include our baby dolls because they were our children. But every time we hung out, like we made like fake credit cards. We had our purses. My parents, we lived in like an area with like no neighbors. So I started driving their vehicles, you guys, whenever I was way too young, but like there's no houses around. So, and my dad trusted me because I started driving when I was like 2 years old. But we would like go in my mom's car, and like I would just like back out of the garage and like back into the garage. It's not like I drove. Well, I did sometimes whenever I got a little older. But we would get our baby dolls into the car and drive. We mainly did like the four-wheeler, like we had four-wheeler, like snowmobiles. We would always bring our baby dolls with us. And then when I was in 4th grade, guys, I even brought them to school. Like I brought them on the school bus. That's so embarrassing, but I didn't care. I didn't care. People made fun of us. And I just remember when my friend and I had our baby dolls for show and tell one time. It was our American Girl dolls. The class was laughing at us. We went up and we were showing them our dolls and all of their accessories. And I just remember like all the boys just like laughing at us. And I was like, I didn't care. Like in the moment, I was kind of like, why are they laughing at us? But we still played with them, still brought them every day. But then 4th grade came around, parent teacher conferences. And my teacher literally told my mom, like, she is more into her baby doll than she is schoolwork. She needs to stop bringing her baby doll to school. So my mom told me I can't bring my baby dolls anymore, but I still secretly shoved them into my backpack. And I think my mom actually in like 6th grade, she eventually had to say like, "Okay, like you got to stop playing with your baby dolls or stop bringing them to school and all this stuff." And I was like, "Fine, time to grow up, I guess." But I was always very, very obsessed with like being a mom. Like I pretended to be a mom all the time. I'd tuck them into bed, I'd feed them, I gave them diapers every morning and night. I always was just like motherly. Like I truly believe that I was put on this earth to be a mom. I've wanted to be a mom my whole entire life. So whenever John and I got married, I decided not to get pregnant right away. And there was a few factors that played into that. We'll talk about that on a different podcast. But we waited, and every single month that we waited to get pregnant was absolutely horrible for me. I would cry every single month because I'm like, I just feel like I'm meant to be a mom right now, and I hate that I'm waiting. And so finally we both agreed, like, okay, we're both ready to be parents. It like if it was up to me, I would have got pregnant before I got married. But I'm like, gosh, I should wait till I get married and we have a house and we're stable and all this. And I'm like, but I just wanted to be a mom so badly, so badly. Thankfully, like I think about it, like if we didn't wait, I wouldn't have Callan. And so, like, there's a reason for everything. If we didn't wait until January, I wouldn't have ever met him. But then I always have in my mind, like, who would the other kids have been if I got pregnant in September or October or November? But I need to so badly stop having that what if mindset because it can be bad. Like, I think of, like, I'll end up with 10 kids probably because I'll be like, what if we stop now? Like, what if we have another kid, but now we're never going to meet them because we stop? All right, let's just skip forward to like senior year. There's probably so much that I'll end up covering over the next however many years I end up doing this. Guys, I'm actually so serious about this podcast. I plan on doing at least an episode or two every single week, and I want to stick with it. I don't want it to be one of those things where I like completely obsess over it and then just stop, because I feel like I do that. Like, I get impulsive, do something, get really excited about it, and then I don't like follow through with it. But this, I like actually am very, very passionate about and want to continue with it. But I eventually will probably, you'll learn every little detail about me, but right now I can't even think about what to talk about. So we're going to skip to senior year, graduating and feeling pressured into going to college. I feel like your junior, senior year, our school, I don't know if it's every school, but my high school really like kind of pressured us into, you need to think about colleges, you need to study for the ACT so that you get a good whatever, and then you can get scholarships, and you need to think about what you want to do for the rest of your life. You guys, that is absolutely bullshit. Like, whenever you're 18, you most likely do not know what you want to do for the rest of your life. Sure, some people do, but the amount of people I talk to that went to college, they have this degree, but they aren't even like doing anything that has to do with their degree now. Like, they pretty much wasted almost $100,000 going to college. They aren't whatever they went to school for. So I went to school and I'm like, gosh, I want to be a dental hygienist. Like, I think but I didn't want to be a dental hygienist. I just had to pick something. I was like, I don't know what I want to be. I have no idea, but I have to go to college because everybody else is going to college. And the teachers tell me I have to go to college. And at this time, I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm not even an adult yet. My brain's not fully developed. So then I'm like looking into colleges and I'm like, okay, we're going to do dental hygiene. But then I find out I could be a nurse. Like, I'm like, gosh, I could be a nurse. Like, I was super passionate about like labor and delivery. And in order to work in labor and delivery, you need to like become a nurse. And so I look at these schools. I find a community college in Duluth for a 2-year fast track program to become a nurse, which is, they say it's 2 years because you're only in the program for 2 years, but it's really 3 years of college because you have to do all the prereqs. So I'm like, without any really true thinking and knowing what I'm getting myself into, I go tour this college. I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going. I don't feel like looking at all these colleges. All of my friends were going to Duluth for college, so that's where I'm going to go. Decided to go to nursing school. I finished my first year of school, super stressful, like anatomy and physiology and biology and microbiology, and all these classes they're damn stressful. Like, I did not enjoy myself because all of my friends, they went to university, so they like met new friends. I felt so isolated when I went to college. I got roomed with 3 random girls. They all ended up being great people. Like, they were nice, but it was still just, they were seniors. I was a freshman. It was just kind of like awkward. I didn't know anybody. I put all of my time and energy into school because I'm not somebody that like like, I have common sense, but I don't have book smarts. Like, I have to apply myself in every subject for me to like pass tests. And like, I can't, it takes a lot of my attention because I have such bad like ADD. I probably needed Adderall, but I just didn't want to put that in my body. But I probably right now would be a nurse if I had Adderall because I just couldn't concentrate. I'm somebody that reads a page 45 times and the information just does not stick in my brain. And with nursing school, you can't have a brain like that. Well, I think now at 25 years old, if I went to nursing school, I would do just fine. It would still be hard and stressful. But whenever you are 7 or 18 years old, that is hard. It was stressful. But I thought that I wanted to be a nurse, and I truly do believe that I would be a great nurse. And I think like if I didn't have social media to fall back on, I would go back to school to become a nurse because I'm very passionate about like labor and delivery. But you can do other things like doula. I did have my doula. We'll get into that another time or later on in this episode. But let me just say, at 18, you should not have to decide what you want to be for the rest of your life. And some people do just fine and they do know what they want to be, but that was not me and that was not my case. COVID hit. I'm in my first year of nursing school. This is second year of college, first year of nursing school. COVID hits. I'm sitting there. I was a CNA at a like infusion cancer center. And I sat there every single day and I was screening people, taking their temperature, asking them if they have any symptoms of COVID. Do you have an itchy nose, a sore throat? I had to go through the list and I would have to do that with like 100 patients a day. And it was so dang boring. And I sat there and I'm like, I don't think I want to be a nurse, which obviously that's not what a nurse is going to be doing. But I was passing nursing school with like B's. I was not an A student. I was passing, I was doing just fine, but then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I do not think that I want to be a nurse because my clinicals were starting and it was all online because of COVID. I had to do everything online. So it was like webkins. I had to pretend to drag medication to patients. I didn't actually get to go see patients, which is crazy to me. Like, so then you become a nurse and you have no patient experience, whatever. But then like after I dropped out of nursing school, I definitely like had a lot of regrets. Okay, we got to go back a little bit. I jumped the gun too far. I ended up getting a house. My dad bought this house and he put it on his land. And I moved in there with a couple of my friends. And I was like, gosh, I lived there for a couple of months and I always wanted to work with like children or like be around like babies or something. And I was like, gosh, I have this house. It would be absolutely perfect to open a daycare. Whenever I was younger, I always wanted to open a daycare, but my mom would say, no, you don't. Like, don't do it. Like, it's hard. Like, whenever you become a mom yourself, it's definitely more difficult to do daycare and like manage that stress. And it's overstimulating and overwhelming. Some people probably might not find it that way, but I do. um, but anyway, I got this house, decided to tell my roommates, hey, I'm going to open a daycare, so I'm going to need you guys to move out in this month, whatever. I had them move out like in October so that I had a couple of months to open my daycare, get it all prepared. And then I dropped out of nursing school, obviously, to do daycare. And I thought like that was what I wanted to do with my life. Like that was my dream. I just want to be around kids. And as you guys know, I am a very, very, very social person. So whenever I quit my job being around many adults all day long, it was a shock to my system. Like I was very, very sad. I actually spent like every single day for a couple of months after I quit my job just bawling. I feel like it was actually after I started daycare because you are isolated. You have no adult interaction besides drop off and pick up. But parents are in a hurry to get to work, so they drop their kids off. You talk to them for 3 seconds about their children, nothing more usually. And then they pick up and they go home. So it's like sometimes I actually wanted them to stay and like talk because I'm like, hi, an adult. Hello, can you talk to me? But me being like a super social person, it was very hard and it still is hard. Like I still find myself being very isolated, not being able to talk to people. And then one day I was on TikTok and I'm like sitting there and I've always been very into like filming and like content and editing and stuff. I did all of the film classes in high school and I enjoyed it so much. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should film like cleaning videos or something. Like I'll go and clean my mom. No, this is before I opened my daycare, but I'm like, I'm going to start doing cleaning videos. And this is when I still worked or was in nursing school. And so I'd film myself. Obviously, I wasn't good at editing and stuff. They never blew up. I maybe get 25 views. And I'm like, okay, I posted probably 40 videos and they never went anywhere. So we're going to be done with this. Then I opened my daycare and I'm like, gosh, I could record like my days as a daycare provider, like record my meals. And I saw some people like do cooking videos and I saw this other lady and I can never think of her name and I can never find her. I think she stopped posting, but she influenced me because she posted a video of her making her daycare kids like meals one day. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to try that out. And I started posting and it very quickly one video took off and it got like 2 million views. And then I like overnight got 10,000 followers. And then the next morning I had 20,000 followers and it just kept on going and going and going. So I just started recording breakfast and lunch videos, posting them on the internet, and they completely blew up. I actually did not show my face at all at the beginning. I didn't want people to like know who I am. I didn't really want like my daycare parents or daycare families to see like my recordings because it's awkward. Like I feel like at first it's just like awkward. You don't want people to see that and like it's kind of embarrassing. But then I eventually was like, you know what? I'm going to show these people who I am. So then I started like posting videos of me talking, who I am, what I look like. And then my videos even took off even more because people enjoyed my personality and they liked me. And so I eventually, like, I am almost at 1 million followers on TikTok. I am at like, I don't even know, 800 something thousand. I have over 2 million followers on all my platforms. And it is just crazy for me to think if I would have stuck with nursing, like my life would be completely, totally different. And I feel like if COVID never hit, my life would be totally different. Like so many things play into this. And I even think back, like whenever I was in college, if I would have stayed in Duluth, like John and I most likely wouldn't be together. Like I would, like we were not meant for the long distance. Like we wouldn't have been together. Like one little tiny change in your life changes your whole entire life completely. Like it is, I don't even want to think about it because I think like if I didn't move back home, I didn't quit nursing school, I didn't open my daycare, I didn't end up doing content creation, I feel like I wouldn't have Callan, I wouldn't like be with John, like my whole life would be totally different. And everything happens for a reason. Like God has a plan. I think that this was all meant to happen. But if I wasn't a nursing or if I was in nursing school, like I wouldn't be a content creator. No way. Like I definitely wouldn't have had time to make content, post content, which who knows, maybe I would have nursing content. I don't know, but it probably wouldn't have blown up the way that it did. But all the people that follow me, a lot of them follow me for my daycare content, my cooking videos for daycare kids, and all of this stuff. And I feel like a part of me continued doing daycare for the last 3 years because of social media. Like I was like, gosh, I don't know like what I would film if I wasn't a daycare provider. Like my content is solely based around my daycare and being a daycare provider and all this food and I don't know, but I am so much more than a daycare provider. I'm so much more than a content creator. Like I don't know, I think a lot of people just view me as this cooking lady. I don't know, but I have this big personality outside of that. And so here, why am I so nervous right now? I could literally throw up. Here's my secret I was going to tell you guys. I am quitting daycare. I'm quitting. I am going to be a mom. I'm going to be a full-time mom. I'm going to focus on my children, at least up until my legs are literally numb, you guys, saying that out loud. And I feel like I'm going to start crying. I don't know why. I could start crying right now. It's so weird to say it out loud. I've put a lot of time and energy into opening a daycare, and I wouldn't have you guys in like my following if it wasn't for doing daycare. And I'm very passionate about my job, but it isn't, I don't know. I don't think it's for me. There's some people that will be able to be daycare providers for years and years. My mom's been a daycare provider for 25 years, and I ask her almost every week, I'm like, how have you done it this long? It is isolating, and I feel like I would be able to, I told myself I would do daycare until my children go to kindergarten, but my mom told me whenever I opened my daycare, she said, Hannah, if you ever get to a point where you are putting your daycare families before your own, or you start getting overwhelmed with your children, or you are getting irritated with them, you need to quit. Like you need to put your family first. You need to put your kids first, because I made the mistake of not doing that. And like she would always kind of like, whenever you are with 10 plus children a day plus your own 24/7, and then all the kids leave but you're stuck with your kids still, stuck isn't the right word, but your children are still home with you and they're constantly mom, they're still very needy. Like, and then you go see dad, go talk to dad. I've been with you all day. I don't want like, and as a stay-at-home mom, yes, I'm still going to be with my children all day, every day, but I won't have 7+ other children with me that I'm working with and dealing with. And this way, like I'll be able to meet up with other stay-at-home moms during the day. I'll be able to go, I can bring Callan to the playground. I can bring him to the science museum. I can bring him to like mommy and me classes. I can do stuff with him and my other children, and I'm not bound to my house. With daycare, I have found myself putting my daycare families before myself. Like we went to Florida for a trip the other month. And we would have John's like, let's go for a whole week. But I was like, no, I'm too scared to take 5 days off of daycare because I don't want my daycare families to be upset with me. And then they'll have to take more time off of work. But it's so hard to see, like they easily could take a week off of work and like go on a vacation with their family because And I probably could too, but I'm such a people pleaser that I can't get myself to do that. So I was putting my daycare families before myself. And it's going to be very hard for me. I've had many days. I decided at the beginning of March to quit my daycare and close it. My daycare families have known since the beginning of March, and they were all very, very nice and supportive about it. I had never had a worse week whenever I decided to close my daycare, and like working up the courage to tell them that I was closing was so damn stressful. It was scary. It was sad. I had a lot of emotions, a lot of anxiety, and they all reacted so nice. Like they were like, you have to do what's best for you. And like that makes it almost even harder to quit because I got blessed with such good daycare families. I love my daycare families. I love my daycare children. That's going to be hard. Thankfully, my mom is taking a couple of my daycare kids, and I'll be able to walk over and see them every day if I want to. I'll be able to still be in their lives. But I have moments at my job right now where I'm like, gosh, I wish that I could close now. And then I have other moments where I'm like, I don't want to close because I'm going to miss my kids so much. Like I'll be having a bad day and my kids will come up to me and they hug me and they say, I love you so much, Hannah. And Hannah, you're my best friend. And I have them still tell me, Hannah, I love your daycare so much. And I literally am going to bawl talking about it. That's just like, they love me. I love them. They love my daycare. I love that they love my daycare, but also there comes a point where I have to put my family first and my children first and me first. I've never put myself first. And even if I didn't have the income from social media, I think that I would quit my job and either go back to nursing school, find a different job somewhere else, or something like this. Like daycare is not a long-term thing for me. It's too isolating for me. And I know a lot of people say like being a stay-at-home mom is isolating also, and there's going to be moments that it is, but I have decided I'm going to help my mom at her daycare a couple of times a week. I'm going to go over to my mom's house. So my daycare content's not going to end. It's just going to be more also stay at home mom content and like more get readies with me and like just more content about me. But I'm going to go help my mom because she's getting to the age too where she's like, I would like some help. Like, it would be nice if you could come over and help me with some things. I'm going to do some breakfast and lunch videos for her. I'm going to go do preschool with her kids. I'm going to bring her daycare kids on walks. I'm going to go visit with Callan because Callan also loves my daycare. He loves the kids. And I think it's very important for children to be around other children, especially before they go to school. So I'm going to bring him to my mom's a couple of times a week probably and leave him there and if like she has an opening one day and her like infant doesn't come, I'll probably bring Callan just so I can like go get content done or like edit and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, that is my secret is I am closing my daycare. My last day is coming up actually at the end of this summer. I have one last summer with my daycare kids and yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. I would not have you guys, like I said before, if it wasn't for my daycare. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for me opening my daycare. And gosh, yeah, I can't believe that I'm done. Maybe one day in the future I'll open a daycare again, but I highly doubt it. But if I do open a daycare again, it won't be until my children are older. Like whenever I was growing up, you guys, and I had my mom as a daycare provider, she was always way too scared to like close or close early or tell her families because she didn't want to upset them. She is the same way as me. I got it from her. She just was nervous that like if you close, all of your families have to find backup or all of your families have to close too, and you just like you feel bad. Like you just don't want to do that. Like even whenever you're sick, you stay open because you feel bad. And so you guys, my mom never once was able to drop us off at school. She never once was able to pick us up from school. She never got to come to our school plays, our choir concerts, our sporting events. I mean, there was probably times where she did come to like a play. I think I remember her coming to one of my plays but she never got to do any of that stuff. And that like breaks my heart for her because she missed out on so much like being a daycare provider. And I don't want that for my children. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, just hire a helper or just hire a sub. It's not that easy, you know? And also like you have to pay them and you have to do all of this like training and documenting and all this stuff. And some people maybe do want to do that, but I don't know. Life and being a mom and my children are way too important for me to not do those kinds of things. A lot of people are like, what are you going to do after daycare? I've been blessed with having social media and content creation. I make more being a content creator and influencer than I do being a daycare provider. And right now, having my daycare out of my home, at a separate location, the bills are a lot more overwhelming than I ever expected. They are very expensive, and I am coming out at almost profiting $0 at the end of the year. So right now I'm pretty much volunteering to be a daycare provider, and I don't think any of you guys would be a childcare provider for free. I know a lot of people don't do this job for the income, they do it to help families, and that is very true. But also, like, I think if you had the opportunity to do social media and or something else for more income and you got to do whatever you wanted, you would also choose this. And I know that I'm going to probably get a lot of backlash saying, I don't know. I just hope that my comment section is positive whenever I finally do come out about this, because I don't know why it should affect anybody else. As long as I'm happy and that's what I want to do, people should be supportive of that. But yeah, I am done. I'm going to be a content creator full time, and it's just so crazy to me that this has changed my life so much to where I can quit my job and I can just do this full time, and I have all these like brand deals and gosh, it's just, it doesn't feel real yet. Like, it just does not feel real that I am a content creator, or like people, I'm well known. Like, I don't know. So weird. It doesn't feel real. And I have so much opportunity, and like I'm going to be able to travel whenever I want. I'm going to be able to leave and just go to Target and grab some McDonald's on the way if I want because of this job. I can do that on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like whatever. It is so surreal. And I am so, so, so thankful and very grateful for every single one of you. I'm going to start crying again. I like, if it wasn't for you guys, I would not be here today. I wouldn't have what I have. I wouldn't have the freedom to have the option to quit my full-time job if it wasn't for you. So I just want to say thank you. I am very appreciative and I am so thankful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. But yeah, that wraps up my first podcast. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys could please comment some ideas on what you guys want to know, ask me some questions, please. I definitely need to be more prepared with my next podcast, because this one is all over the place and I have no idea if it's even going to be interesting. I need more bullet points and ideas on what to talk about. Let me actually pull up my notes here for you guys on what I want to talk about in the future. My first one, I was going to do who I am, kind of where I came from, what got me to where I'm at today. This is what I have. I have who I am, how I got where I am today. Am I going to quit my full-time job? Yep, I am, because of you guys. What I'm doing with my life after quitting my job, my induction and C-section story, my C-section must-haves, my postpartum must-haves, like what I need, my favorite baby items, addressing my Reddit page. Fun fact, I have never looked at my Reddit page, but somebody I know has looked at my Reddit page before, and they've told me a couple of things that people talk about on there. And I'm like, gosh, I don't think I ever want to look at it, because I hate drama. I hate negative things. I just look at the positive at everything. I try not to feed into any negative comments, but I'm like, maybe I should look at my Reddit page and make that a podcast. I think that could be fun. But also, I don't really want to read comments that are super negative, but also I don't really let negative comments get to me, because they just don't have anything better to do with their lives. The time that I was a theft. The time I was a robber. But anyway, you guys, thank you for listening. Please follow. I don't know what it is on Spotify. Do you follow, subscribe? I have no idea what you do. I'm trying to get my podcast onto Apple Music. I'm trying to get it on a bunch of different platforms and not just Spotify. I don't even use Spotify myself, but a lot of people use Spotify to listen to podcasts and music and all of this stuff. But yeah, I need to come up with a fun outro to do every single time. But right now, I don't have one. So have a good day, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.